Hey, what's up, everybody? Our summer road tour continues here in Russellville, Alabama. And joining us on today's program, we have Ben Neyman.
Yes, sir. Hey, Mr. Paul.
And Eli back again. And Eli's going to be on tomorrow's episode as well. So double dipping here. And today on the show, we're going to talk about inflation, gas prices, and how you guys are keeping profitable these rising costs to run a lawn care business. How's that sound?
Yes, sir. Sounds really good. I hate that we're in a situation we are, guys, but it's just it's one of them things we got to try to overcome and endure as we take on this season. And I know part of 2023 is going to be even rougher, I've been hearing. So,
well, we're going to get you guys the information that you guys are using to run your business more successfully, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I know we just had tacos and talking all about mowers and power equipment, and so we can talk that too, but I really want to get into the business side of things as well.
Yes, sir.
Thank you to our sponsors for making all of this possible, our friends at Ballard Products, Echo, and Company Cam. And also, thank you to our friends at Jobber for sponsoring today's show. Ben, you use Jobber, right?
Yes, sir. I use Jobber. Honestly, guys, if it wasn't for Jobber, I wouldn't know where I would be every day. Honestly, Jobber is just a good software. It's worked for me the last, we started using it, I think, beginning of 2020, and it's really worked good. Really well for my business, and it's helped me keep things on track, organized, and as far as invoicing and billing and keeping things in order with all my clients. Without Jobber, I don't know where I'd be. It's a good software. Y'all check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll put in the show notes today, getjobber.com/Paul. You guys can try it out for 14 days for free. So without further ado, we're going to hear a quick word from today's show sponsor, and we're going to really offer solutions today of what do we do. We can't change the fact of what the gas prices are right now. We can't change the fact of there's inflation, but what we can do is make adjustments in our business so that it is profitable. And so we're going to talk about that coming right up. Alrighty, guys, we are back with Eli in your beautiful new mansion.
Thank you.
Big old house you got, and with Ben. So tell us a little bit about your business, Ben. We've had you on the program before, but give us a real quick update.
Yes, sir. Well, I'm kind of actually a small business. Eli, he's got a rocking little business over here, man. He's got the HOAs here. I call him the local HOA king here in town. He serves Florence, Alabama. He takes care of them people, and you drive by him and you know who takes care of those things. I mean, I'm straps in the entrances. You just drive by every day, and every day of the week he's got one he cuts, and but he's got a good team and got a good head on his shoulders, and I know he's came a long way. But yeah, man, Paul, my business, we service roughly right at 85 customers right now. I got about 85 accounts, and I think 13 of those consist of commercial. The other consist of higher residential. That's kind of my nitty gritty right there. I kind of like the scale with residential. It's really good niche to get in with higher end residential, I'll say. But we currently serve about 85 clients right now. I have it's just me and one full-time guy I have right now, and currently trying to find another part-time guy. And the labor pool we got going right now, Paul, it's just kind of a hard situation to find good guys to bring in, and I try to. I listen to Corey a lot. Corey Ballard, he's one of my guys I look up to, along with you and many others, and Eli, and I listen to Green Ride podcast, and they were talking about the other day about the labor pool and just finding good help, and it's very hard right now. But I kind of scaled back a little bit from last year. I had three. It was three of us last year, so I knew going into 22 this year we were going to have to scale back, and I had one guy had a good opportunity. He was in school for a while, and he took a leave, and I knew I had one full-time guy left over. So going into 22, I knew I was going to scale back just a little bit on my clients, and you can only do so much with what you got. We've kind of scaled back this year, and I think it's put a lot less stress on me, and having just one full-time guy and me, we can get the work done, and we have a goal set every day of what we need to get done, and our margin for every day of what we need to get mowed and take care of our clients. And that's kind of where we're at right now. And we do a little bit of landscaping here, probably early spring. We've done a lot this year, and late fall I like to kind of get in with more projects as the season ramps up. But we're just straight mowing mainly from the middle of May to about October gets here, and then we'll start doing more projects. But right now it's just that's usually what my business is looking at right now. I don't know if I'm gonna be scaling the next year or two. I ain't really decided, but I'm kind of in a good spot right now, and it's kind of where I stand right now with my business.
So walk us through a typical week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What you have certain yards you hit on certain days. How do you get through 85 yards in a week?
Yes, sir. Usually on Mondays, we like to knock out a lot of our commercial grade properties. We try to get those knocked out and took care of first day of the week because, a lot of those, my clientels, they got businesses and stuff like have Sky Zone. We take care of them here locally in town, and, they're a big outfit. Sky Zones, they're all over the country, but we take care of them. I have a local building supply shop. We just got we try to knock out all the commercials on Monday. We try to average at least 15 to 17 yards a day. Most of these are small, and I have a few of them that are just large, but I had to scale and look and see how our time frame would look on each property, because if we spend so much time on one property, I try to determine what price margin we need to make while we're on the property and when we leave, and doing a good quality job, which is always important to me. But then again, it's tough. We usually start up about 7. Eli, he gets on me about that. I'm on the first yard usually around 7:30, and he said that early bird.
They're on their lunch break.
Yeah, early bird gets the worm. He's like, Ben's already out there mowing, but it's just we usually, we try to. Main thing is we have a set goal every day.
What time do you all start, Eli?
9, 8:30 or 9.
Okay.
Most of the time 9.
Okay.
So he's already on his 3rd or 4th yard, and we're just starting.
Yeah. But yeah, we usually, average, try to get 15, 16 done a day.
And these are a minimum of $60. You don't drop your gate for anything less than $60.
No, sir, not this year. This year we've gone in, we talked about it in this inflation and stuff we got going on with the world right now. Fuel prices outrageous. Diesel's, $5.50 a gallon. Gas is I'm hearing it's going to be $5.
70.
Yeah, it's going to be, and somebody even said the other day gas is going to be like $7-8 by this fall, and I'm just like, there ain't no way, But yeah, my minimum this year is 60, 65. I don't drop the gate lesser than that because, I have a minimum if we're on a property for, 30 minutes, 25 minutes, that's kind of my minimum of what I want to spend on it, because I know what kind of numbers we need to be making at each stop, and each day when we get done, I have a set goal. We try to mow at least $1,000 to $1,200 a day. Try to do more than that, but our goal each day that we get done is at least $1,200 a day worth of mowing, when you look
That's
at
a 2-man crew?
Yes, sir. The 2-man crew. It's a lot, but if you know your numbers, this all goes back to knowing your numbers, and I know you've talked about it. Corey's talked about it. A lot of guys talked about it. Me and Lamont talk about it every day. I call him, every day or so we talk.
What's up, Pookie?
Pook. But,
he texts me in the morning. Good morning, Pook.
I'm telling you, man. Without that man, he keeps us in line, man. Old Pookie. You can't go wrong with Pookie. But I listen to Corey, Green Grind Podcast, all these guys. Even Brian, you just got to know your numbers, and we can't stress that enough, and you're putting in this hard work. It's been 100 degrees, this past week. It's been brutal. We're out here doing all this hard work. We got inflation and all kinds of other stuff on top of the world right now that's just kicking our tail, and we just gotta, like I say, know your numbers and having a set goal every day and taking care of your clients, and mainly, it goes back to taking care of your employees. I know Eli's got a good big crew, and they have families too. They got to go home every day. They got to eat. They got to have somewhere to sleep, and you want to have a future for them and know what you got to offer them in the future. And that's important to me. Full-time guy I got right now.
Where'd you find him at?
I actually found him. I had a Martin McCravey. He worked for me he started with me in 2018. He was one of my full-time guys. And there's a lot of guys right here that do bass fishing professionally, and a lot of them like to work set hours. They work for a company or corporation. They're not going to be so relaxative on their hours. So this guy is good buddies with him, and actually Martin had an opportunity to come up to him, and I had to sadly see him go, but I, wish him the best, and you can't blame one man for bettering himself, and I'm all about that. You gotta do what's best for you and your family. But I found him through Martin. He was good friends with him, so he recommended him to me, and I, interviewed him and stuff, and I could see where he came from, his background, and ever since day one. Sloan Pennington's his name, but he works for me full time right now. It's just me and him, but he is my right hand man. He's a real good guy. Take care of him really good, and it just all falls back to taking care of your guys. And because without them, your business ain't good.
What's it like, Eli, with the relationship dynamics working with your nephews and your family, your brother? Because you guys are all friends and blood and family. If someone's slacking off, or how does that work? Because people have different opinions. You should or you shouldn't work with family. What's your opinion of doing it for so long?
Well, you just gotta explain to them that once you pick them up to go to work, or they come to the shop, and when we leave the shop, that's when everybody comes in. I'm the boss, you're the employee. We're family at the same time, but you gotta understand that that's in between. So you just gotta tell them that whenever we're out there working, I'm going to get on to you if you're messing up. Just the same time, I'll get on to somebody else that's not
Have you ever
my
had
family.
somebody who's not blood in the family?
Yeah, I had a part-time last year. Actually, he worked with me for a couple of months, and then he for wintertime, he had to look for a part-time. So ever since then, he said, I'm going to stay here and work for a couple of months. If I will need a job again, I'll go back with you. So I had another guy that came and worked for me for a couple of months, but then he had to move away because his family was up there in Georgia. So he had to move to Georgia to go to live with his family. I think he's doing lawn care too, working for another guy. So yeah, we had other folks that used to work for us. But then, like I said, the guys, when they know they're messing up, and I'm gonna tell them, I'm gonna call their attention and say, hey, Juan.
What's something picking on Juan here, huh? What's something they do that's not up to par?
Especially on the HOAs, like they forget to blow off the patios in the back.
Ooh.
And they'll, homeowner will call the association president of the association, let them know, hey, the guys forgot to blow off my back patio, or they forgot to close the gate when they left, when they blowed off the. Those are the main things that sometimes we miss. But then I tell the guys, hey, we got to close them gates no matter what. We got to close them. Blow off the patio. Get out there and make sure to close the gate. And like I said,
Did they just forget, or do they intentionally?
No, they forget. They forget, especially when we take over the HOAs. But once they learn the whole roads, like the whole subdivision, they know what to do. Because the same guy that's going to blow this street is going to be the same guy next week, 2 weeks. That way they know the streets. But like I said, professionally, you got to tell them, hey, we're family, but at the same time, you're working for me. You're working under me. So it's got to be done the right way. Don't think because you're my nephew, I'm not going to get on to you. I'm going to call your attention when I have to. Mm-hmm. But like Ben said, it all comes to where you treat them right. Like every day we're out there busting our butt, cutting 100 yards, 90 yards, 130 yards, HOAs, and I treat them right. I pay for their lunch 4 days a week.
What?
Yes, because we're out there under 90 to 100 degrees, working for me, making their own money, but at the same time.
You buy your guys lunch 4 days a week.
Yes, they get paid on Thursday, so on Friday they buy their lunch because that's when we divide to, we become a 3 crew on Fridays. That's when we cut individuals.
Okay.
One crew goes to Muscle Shoals, one go to Florence, one stays in Russellville. So then on Friday they all buy their lunch. But when we're together cutting all these HOAs, I buy their lunch.
What do you usually get?
Usually my wife, did you like the tacos?
Delicious, guys. These tacos, oh man, Coach Tori, I hope you're not listening. I got a trainer I work with at the gym, and I had a big pep talk when I go on tour. You're going to eat clean all tour, right?
Yep.
Yes, Coach T.
Yep.
Here we are. I think I had 11 tacos.
Yeah. So my wife doesn't work, so she's like, I got to do something, because, she stays home and take care of her youngest. Now he's going to, go into school this year, in August. So she likes to get out. She loves to cook. So she's like, I told her one day, I was like, if you're bored, if you're bored in the house, why don't you, instead of paying all these restaurants, fast food, why don't you cook every day and I'll pay you? She's like, awesome. That's a great idea. So pay her for tacos or whatever she fixes that day, whatever she cooks. She come out there and the guys, she have 2-3 different type of food in there. There's
you guys like it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you got. Well, and the other thing is probably more nutritious than, getting fast food.
They get
There's
tired.
more nutrient dense foods that you
Yes.
can control from your kitchen rather than they put a lot of MSG and all kind of ingredients at the restaurant. 2, 3, 4 in the afternoon when it's hot in Alabama and you don't have good nutrients in your food, the production is going to decline because
Exactly.
physically your body's depleted. So that's really cool.
Yeah, the first years when we, started HOAs, we ate, we order pizza or order
No
from fast
way,
food.
yeah.
And then the guy was like, I asked him every day, I was
Bogged
like,
down.
what do you want to eat? Man, I don't know. We're tired of eating the same thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if we do this? And they're like, we want something, authentic. I was like, okay. I was thinking the other day, I was, why don't we get my wife to cook if you like, because they always brag on her food. I was like, why don't we do that? We stop getting food from all these fast foods and then I'll pay her and she'll bring us food every day. They're like, cool.
Yeah.
Because some of these guys, not all of them are married. It's just Baltazar and Felix, he's not here today, and John. But Juan, Moses, David, and Sosa, they're all single guys. So, they want to eat something good.
Right.
They're tired of eating fast food. Imagine eating fast food at work, then come home, you have to go grab something at fast food to eat. So,
Sluggish.
yes, exactly. They're like, man, that's awesome. Aunt's going to cook for us. We're ready. So that's one thing I've always told them, hey, I will always take care of y'all when you guys take care of me, take care of the customers. Like I was saying earlier, with inflation being this, cost of living is expensive too. So this year, I gave the guys a raise, give you more money, but you got to keep up the good work. Don't forget to blow off so-and-so patio. Don't forget to close the gates. So now, like I said, every single guy does the same thing most every week. That way they don't miss spots. And it happens, accident happens. And like this week, one of the guys busted a storm door, with an
I've been
edger.
there.
So,
Been there before. Yeah.
And I just tell them, hey, you just got to be careful, when you see them storm doors, just be careful with them, So, and sometimes they'll miss too. They'll miss a spot to weed eat. They'll miss a spot to edge. But then I was like, hey, we need to, next week, don't miss that. Just remember where, keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
So that's what we do. And then, dealing with inflation is crazy now. Like this year, I'm glad we focus on route density. We used to go out to Red Bay, the other side. That's like,
It's a good bit drive.
yes, 35 minutes. We have like, I think 4 commercial properties and then 5 residential. But then we lost a couple of residential. Then went down to only 5 properties we had there. Of course, they were all year contracts. But then whenever we seen that gas price go up, we was like, hey, man, we probably need to just cut that off.
Question, Eli. Now, on them residentials you lost, was that because your price increased?
Mm-hmm. That's
I've
it.
been through that this year, too.
Exactly. I told them, I was like, hey, right before we closed our season last year, I said, hey, I'm going up on the price next year.
Yeah.
So I want you to be aware of that. And they're like, okay, it's awesome. Well, when I called back, or I say, hey, ready for grass season, they're like,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do my own, or my son's going to do my own. So
Yeah.
anyways, I was like, I had to think about either I go out there, and it's actually Baltazar and the Zuzu crew. Either they go out there and spend $60 on gas, diesel.
Yeah, you have to look at, X numbers.
Exactly.
If you're going to drive out there, you got to make X number of this. If it's not worth driving out there, it ain't worth doing.
Exactly.
It's just like me when I go to Rogersville to do lake houses out there. I got 3. If we're there for 2.5, 3 hours, if I ain't making over say $350 or $400 while I'm there within 2.5 hours, it ain't worth my time.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a long. You got to look at it. It's 30-minute drive. If you're there on properties for 2.5, 3 hours, and if they want you to do extra service, you got to charge them. I mean, they know that. I mean, I'm talking about these are $300,000 or $400,000 properties. So that they want everything to look uptight, for the weekend, it's just, which those are the customers that I like, and you've mentioned that too again, Paul, you got to provide, you can get more, more numbers on providing extra service while you're at the property, whether it's trimming hedges, spraying weeds, pulling weeds, you can do it all in a bundle and make a good margin while you're there, but like you said, the Red Bay's that's a far drive, if you ain't making X, it ain't worth driving.
We had 4 commercial. We had a Dollar Tree, we had Fred's, we had Dollar General, and Jack's. And then the thing is, we had them through subcontractors. Danco, I don't know if you heard of Danco. They're a big subcontractor company. We got Murphy Oil, the gas
I know you got
station,
the
Walmart.
Murphys. You keep
Yes,
those
we got it
looking
through
sharp.
them.
Yeah.
So the contract was up to renewal this year, beginning of this year. So they're like, Eli, we're ready to renew. So, do you want to renew with us? And I was like, nah, I'm focused on route density this year. So I'm going to stop going to Red Bay.
Yeah.
So this is it. And
yeah, that's like U-Haul. I actually got the U-Haul. I told you about U-Haul. They called me about a month ago, and I'm like, why is U-Haul calling me? You know, they just built a new place here in town for storage facility and rental trucks, you know, and I'm like, okay, so they're looking for somebody to mow their grass. You know, found me on Google. So I said, yes, ma'am. And this lady was out of Huntsville, so she handles all the, I guess, the both locations, Athens, Florence, and Huntsville. So I said, yes, ma'am, I'll take a look at it. Gave her a price. And she said, go for it. So we're just really excited to get U-Haul because that's it's a little bit of a big place, but it's a great, you know, it falls back on commercial, you know, with Dollar Generals. I don't know if anybody, guys listening to this podcast right now, if you mow Dollar Generals and you ain't got paid, please don't mow them no more. Dollar General has a very bad reputation of paying for service on lawn care. I don't know if anybody else has had trouble, but here locally, I've talked to guys that mow Dollar Generals here locally, and there's guys that they owe, their bills are racking up $6,000-$7,000 on invoicing because Dollar General has not paid them. I mean, it is sad. You know, I'm just like, y'all, you have to really look at commercial sites because like people like Walmart, Target, you know, I'm sure they pay, but you know, you just gotta, if you don't get paid, some of these commercial places will really burn you if you don't watch out, you know. But back to U-Haul, man, it's, you know, you pull up on these commercial sites, you're excited to get them, but you got to make sure you're making good money, you know, make sure they're paying you for one, and, you know, make sure it's the right fit for your business. You know, it's a big thing, you know, and just like with inflation, you know, I told them this is what it's going to be. Of course, they're spraying the parking lot, you know, all that adds up, you know, it's a great account, but you just got to know your numbers, and I'd rather take care of somebody that's loyal to me all day versus somebody that don't pay me or somebody that's being nitty-gritty, you know, and don't want to support your small business, you know. And going back and taking care of your customers, it goes a long way, you know. And it's like with you losing residential this year, I think I've lost 5 this year because a price increase, you know. And you ride by, you see old Chuck out there mowing it for $35-$45. You're just like, y'all have at it, buddy, you know. And
they're just going to be always them great customer. They always appreciate
yeah,
your work.
exactly.
You know, I had a couple that came up to me before I even went up on the price right before last year. We closed last year's season. They're like, okay, I know next year is going to be more because everything is going up. So just don't be afraid of going up, Eli. Just let us know, and we'll be happy because we don't want to lose you.
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, just like this week, I was telling Paul just now that, you know, we just went up on a couple of more because I was like, hey, the gas price is killing me. You know, parts, mowers, blades, everything. I mean, I use Amsoil. Amsoil is...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Amsoil went up because we run that in all of our equipment.
Exactly.
It's good stuff, but it's just everything. It's a chain reaction. When you got fuel, you know, diesel, $5 a gallon, you know, putting that in 18-wheelers, everything's got to get shipped, you know, groceries and all that. It's a fall chain reaction on everything, you know. You got to get it here, you got to get it there, you got to get labor involved, you know. Diesel and 18-wheelers, I don't even imagine filling one of them jokers up, you know. I don't even know what that costs, you know. It's just insane, man. But battling inflation, these next, I think, going into 2023, I think it's going to be, I think next year, I hope it's not worse, but guys listening, if we're going into 2023 next season, we're halfway in the middle of this season this year, got to raise them rates. Paul preaches it every day, you know, I preach it. Eli, I know you're all about it, you know, do the hard work, get paid for it, enjoy what you do, you know, take care of your clients. That's all that matters. You know, being loyal to them, they'll be loyal to you, and enjoying what you're doing, putting pride in your work, you know, it goes a long way. You know, don't do Paul's word raggedy. Don't be doing raggedy work and expecting to get paid for quality work. You know, it all falls back to it, man. I mean, it's just knowing your numbers and battling inflation this year. I don't even know what your fuel bill is this year, but I paid mine last week, and it's just like chunk after chunk. You know, you go to the gas station, guy asked me, I think it's like $75 to fill both my mowers up, just the mowers. Okay.
Wow.
Dude was like, was that just the mowers? I said, yeah. I said, so anybody want to cut for X amount of dollars? I ain't getting it this year. I said, I'm sorry. I said, this stuff is crazy, you know. And, you know, back in 19, I think I was filling the diesel truck up, $58-$60 on a diesel tank, and mowers were like $48, $38 every morning. We'd fill them up. Now it's just got on up there, man. It's insane. But $4.50 a gallon. I mean, I never thought I'd see it, but we're seeing it now. But I think this year and next year is really going to be the crunch level of finding out your numbers. People that don't know your numbers, really going to hit them hard, and it's really going to define where they're at in their business. I'm just want to put that out there. I mean, this is so crucial. You know, you work hard, you got to know your numbers, you know, and I can't stress it enough. You know, between blades, oil, all this stuff that it takes to service mowers, equipment,
Vehicles.
I mean, it's new equipment. You know, we bought, like I said, bought a new Red Max blower last week. You know, the Joker's $500 something. You know, but we gotta have.
You're
it.
wearing an Echo hat, an Echo shirt.
I know,
You're buying
man.
a Red Max.
You know why?
Tell me why, Ben. Tell me why.
Fullerton. I've been listening to his podcast. Brian's been getting me on them Red Max blowers. I'm telling you, you listen to more of him, he'll get you in the Red Max faster than I don't know. But I love Echo trimmers. Now, Echo, I appreciate if you're sponsoring this. We appreciate everything you do for us. I love Echo USA. I mean, great equipment. Love them to death. I'm a big Echo fan too. I have a Red Max shirt I was going to wear, but it's okay.
Yeah, Echo's sponsoring our summer road tour.
Okay,
so.
thank you.
Thank you to our friends
Echo.
at Echo.
Yeah, without Echo and say Jobber, and appreciate all the guys out there, the big companies that sponsor, and you know we appreciate you, Paul. You know, and I know this takes a lot of time and money to get the summer road tour. Like I said, with inflation, you doing this tour, man, it's a blessing that you can do it, and it's a blessing these companies can bless you to get on the road to come meet with us. Where we can spread knowledge and talk about the problems that we're facing with inflation.
Yeah, because Eli, I don't know if you were here earlier when I was talking to Eli, but it's like the guy across the street doesn't want to talk to us.
Oh, yeah.
But when we sit here and we're able to have this conversation around a dinner table, and then people in Australia and New Zealand and Illinois and Arizona, some guy just called me the other day from Arizona. He's like, my dad's about to quit his job and do lawn care because he listens to you.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, man.
That's insane. That's
but,
an impact.
But yeah, to get to share this information with folks, because most of the companies, I have a list in my podcast studio of the top 100 companies in our industry, but they know their numbers. They actually have someone on their team that just crunches the numbers,
That's
like a
insane.
CFO or what. They got different titles or whatever, but they look at all the numbers. They've been raising their rates every single year. In 2014, 15, 16, they always raise their rates, bump it up every year.
Yeah.
And what was happening is Chuck in the truck, he's, I'll do it for 40.
Yeah.
And he comes back the next year, it's still 40.
Yeah.
And the next year, it's still 40. It's still 40.
bad.
When these other companies are like, if they were 40, next year it's $42. Next year it's $44. Next year makes $47.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden it's $50 over time, whereas Chuck's still doing it for 40.
Yeah.
So I think nowadays everyone's realizing if we don't raise our prices, the fuel, the vehicle, the upkeep of running this business, the money's going to come in, the money's going to go out, and you're going to have to go get a job or do something else because it's financially impossible to run a lawn care business. Yeah. This industry is getting hit so hard right now because it's run off of fuel, it's run off of labor, and obviously run off of our equipment, and the fuel skyrocketed. The labor, if you can find anyone, you got to pay them more than ever. And then the equipment, if you can find it because of supply chain issues, the prices are outrageous.
Yeah, it's insane.
We run walker mowers, and a walker mower is $20,000.
Yeah, I was going to buy one.
20,000.
I was going to consider
Yeah,
buying one. Like Eli, we was at GIE last year. What was used to be called GIE is now Equipped. We was walking around the show, and I told Eli, I said, "Man, you get me in them walker mowers." I said, "I'm going to get one next year." Well, nah, I can't now. It's just you gotta have the work to justify buying the equipment. It's just like with a skid steer. You can't go spend $60,000-$70,000 on a skid steer and not justify having to work to
sitting in the corner in the backyard. You got to start weed eating around it now.
Exactly.
You ain't even using it.
Yeah, it's like sitting there just looking pretty and shiny. You got to go get it dirty and make some cash with it. But it's just insane.
Are y'all quoting your new jobs at a premium rate? Like if you quote a new,
yes, sir.
How's that going?
Sometimes they'll turn it down, but then there's always people, especially the ones that are recommended by other customers that have. Like we cut a couple of realtors here in our area, in Florence area, agency on Pine.
Yeah.
We cut a couple of them, and they would always recommend us to, every time they sell a house, new homeowners, hey, Eli does a good job with his crew, so he does mine, so you might want to call him. Or the homeowner would ask us, okay, I come from Arkansas or from Washington, I don't know nobody.
California.
People actually moved to Alabama?
California's a big one right now. We've had so many people.
No, new homeowners come in, new people coming
new
in.
buyers.
So
it's insane. California, some of Colorado, mainly just California. Like I got a guy right now. He's bought a lake lot that I mow for him. He lives in Southern California. He's in San Francisco. Well, I say the more conservative. I ain't getting political right now, but the more southern region of California. But he's moving out, man. He's coming here to build his house on the lake because he honestly I had a phone call conversation with him. He said, "Man, things are just getting so high out here." He just, he's about to retire. In 10 years after he's retired, he'll be out of. He couldn't just he'll blow all his retirement out there because it's just so expensive to live, you know. And a lot of people in California are moving. Seems like here, Nashville. You know, James has talked about people in California coming to Nashville, and our
They've
area.
been coming to Georgia.
Yeah, Georgia too. It's like a southern region. They're just migrating here, which is fine, you know. But I get so many phone calls, and our schedules. You know, I tell people our schedule's full. You know, we wish we could take you on, but schedule's full this year. You know, check with us next season. We may have an open slot. But I don't know if you've had more phone calls this year, but more people moving from California and some of these regions that are just getting, I guess, more. We want to move to the South. You know, they might like it here. You know, it's just a big trending thing right now in the housing market, like it is. You know, it's insane. But a lot of California people it's moving here, which is great. Colorado.
And most of the time when you give them a price, they'll say, okay, you know. Not only they don't know anybody here, but they said is the right price, because I'm sure over there is worse than down here.
I'm sure.
Price cost of living out in the West is worse.
And I know I can't remember the guy that somebody done a podcast with out in California. He does lawn care. I like to talk to him and just see what the rates are out there, what he's mowing for. I mean, it's just neat getting to know everybody's rates around the country, even California, Oregon. You know, some of people mow in Nebraska too. You know, you wouldn't think people in Nebraska have nice houses. You know,
Elkhorn Lawn Care, James Mansky. You know, he has 50 employees there in Nebraska.
It's insane.
Jeremiah was just out in Sacramento.
I remember seeing he was out there. Yeah, it's insane. That's who I saw that from. Yeah, he was hanging out with the guy out there. I can't remember his name, but Jeremiah was hanging out with him, and I remember him posting that. So it's just it's neat knowing around the country what rates they're at, you know, who's kind of work they got, you know. It's just it's neat getting to know all that good stuff, you know. But there's houses around here, man. It's just people are moving in here. It's blowing up, especially in Georgia, Alabama, Tennessee. It's just I don't know. It's cheaper to live here. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it ain't getting cheaper around the country.
Exactly.
But it's snowbirds moving down from up north, you know, and which is cool. So
this is probably who you're talking about, Luke from Liberty.
Yeah, Liberty Lawns, that's who it was. Old Luke.
He's out in California.
Dude,
I don't know if you follow him on Instagram.
Yeah, I think I do. He's got a sweet setup. I love his truck. It's awesome. But shout out to Luke, man. But it's just neat getting to network and learn, you know, other guys different part of the country, like you said, Paul. And you know, without the people getting to sponsor you in this road tour, you know, it's just neat getting to know more info about everybody and getting to touch everybody's lives with more info and getting them more informative on what's going on, you know, especially with inflation, you know. And I just can't stress it enough, man. It's these next, that's what I told Eli at the beginning of the season. I told you this year is going to be the testing year. It's going to be tough, you know, and I think next year it's going to be even
And if you're
tough.
trucking the truck,
They're still making it, but I've seen them out, but I'll just let them do them things.
Well, like Dave Ramsey says, you can't out-earn your stupidity.
That's right.
And you can't, there's only, 24 hours in a day. You can only work, maybe you start at 7, but, if you go 8 to 5 or whatever, there's only a certain amount of man hours in a day, and you can't outwork yourself. Like, at some point, you have to raise your prices. You have to be frugal. Like you said, you can't be buying a skid steer if you ain't going to be, if it's not going to be turning you a profit. So you just go rent one if you're doing a one-off job.
Yeah.
And you got to get it in order. I do coaching calls that are private, so I'm not going to blast, what I'm seeing privately and helping folks with solutions. I would say the majority of people don't know their numbers.
No.
They really don't. And they're just, when they go out to give a quote, if they were honest, they're just guessing.
Yeah, that's what it is. And
you have to have, like you said, and I don't know where you came up with your 1,000 to 1,200 range, but I have to make, I can't pull my butt back home without making $1,000 today.
Yeah. I mean, that's
revenue, top line revenue in the business. And then you can break it down. 75 of it went to fill up the mowers. Some of it went to
labor for the day.
Your labor. And it goes, $1,000 burns fast. And at the end of the day, you need money for your salary, for your retirement, for your reinvesting into the business, so you can afford that $20,000 mower next year or whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah. And
do you kind of have a ballpark of what each day, what you guys kind of got to be around? Or
yes, because we cut HOA. So I have to have at least $3,500 to $3,800 a day.
Wow.
That's what we make doing HOAs. Because like I said, like Tuesday we start doing the big ones. So there's 130 in Cedar Park, and on Wednesday we cut a 90 and a 55, 2-in-1.
Wow.
So Wednesdays are big day. There's 38, 50 that for that day.
Yeah.
And
how many employees are this?
7, 8 with me.
Okay, so 8.
Yes.
You got 8 guys to cover.
Yeah, with me including.
And you only got 2. You're
Yes.
covering.
Just me.
So. And on Thursday, same thing. Like I said, I have to in order to be successful or a great day, I have to get all them houses out that day. And we usually do. We usually from 9 to 6, 5:30 to 6, we knock them out. 130 houses, 140. Wednesday is the biggest house. So that's what we do.
But it's route density. They're literally next
right
to each
there,
other.
next to each other. Trucks are parked from 9 to 6. They're there.
And that's the same thing with me. I got route density like hammered, locked in there because, especially with fuel, we go back to inflation. If you can do X amount, we're in your area. Somebody calls you, Miss Sue calls you, hey, can you come by and get me today?
Sweet Sue.
No, we'll be there Thursday. I'm sorry. And if it rains or, if you don't want to, I'll say all these bi-weekly cuts. If you don't want to cut Thursday, I'm not coming back till next Thursday. I'm sorry, and that's just the way you need to. Route density, it's important too. I mean, I can't stress that enough either because, when we're here in this area, the day of the week, whether it be Monday or Wednesday or whatever, we're getting you done today. This is our area today. We're not coming back till next week.
Exactly.
That's a big thing because if you can park the truck, and like I said, I know with you it's easy, because you got HOA, so you're parked and you're there all day. I probably do more driving than
exactly,
and that's that. Windshield time hurts, and you got to really look at that, and like you said, top line number every day. You want to get, say, the more top line you can get to every day, and you get done, you get off at a decent time. You can go home and spend time with your family. And, Brian's preached it, Corey's talked about it, that's the biggest kicker, and you don't be out here killing yourself trying to cut 150 yards a week with just 3 or 4 guys, it's just insane. And I know so many guys that do it around here. And I'm just like, there's a better way, guys. Y'all just, need to know your numbers.
Yep,
just like you can do so much more better and not kill yourself cutting 150 yards. I mean, I don't know, but they do it, but that's not me.
I couldn't do that going,
Yeah, if y'all just did residential, say y'all didn't have HOAs,
exactly.
That's just like, that's insane. This is so much driving. You got to drive everywhere, and it's just, even 3 or 4 guys, 150 yards. It's brutal.
And you've seen the ones that we cut. They're small yards.
Oh, I
They're
know.
not big, but doing like the size of this, doing 100 of them, I think you couldn't do that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This yard right here about a $75 yard. If I mowed it, because by the looks of it, and you got to look at what the house is worth too. You roll up some of these lake houses, $300,000 or $500,000 lake houses. Well, if you can't afford me to cut it for this X amount, I'm not your guy. I mean, and I know Anna Grace Gardens. You heard her out in Washington, where she cut some beautiful. A lot of Canadian properties. She owns Canadian customers she's got, and there are beautiful properties. But those lake houses right there, I mean, it's just customer base. You want to have a good customer base, and, that's what it all falls back to. It'll get you in good spots, But
Well, speaking of windshield time, I got a 5.5 hour commute to my next.
Yeah, that's a good little drive.
Yeah, I'm going to Hot Springs, Arkansas.
Okay.
But first, I want to stop and go see your shop if you have time.
Yes, sure.
So you guys can watch these on YouTube. The podcasts we're doing are now on video. So our YouTube channel is Green Industry Podcast with Paul Jamison. I'm going to film Eli's shop and show that on the YouTube channel as well. So hang out with us over there. And on Instagram, in the meantime, what's your guys' handles? BLC256?
BLC256 at BLC256.
Ben Neyman Lawn Care LLC on Instagram, or Neyman Ben 16 is my personal. I don't mind people following me on that either. I got 2 accounts. So,
yeah, you guys have probably seen Ben because I'm resharing his workout posts all the time.
Yeah. I'm telling you, the gym, if y'all got time to do it, which I do, it just makes you, and eating, we go back to eating, I'll mention this, these fast food guys, if y'all can eat cleaner and eat a lot healthier, get your protein and work out, Paul will preach it, you feel 100
You're looking
times
at my
better.
tricep. What are you
I know, man. I'm trying to get mine up there. Mitchell Gordy, man. He's
man.
I love
it.
it.
Hey, speaking of Mitchell, these guys got their GIT tickets with the MLC 50 code.
Man.
What about promo code Paul, guys?
I'm gonna use Paul.
Okay.
And you're gonna
Get
save,
mine.
and you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
save
get mine
yourself
tonight.
50% off. I
50%
caught
off.
these guys. I asked them. If they use promo code Paul to go to Equip, and it got crickets in here. And then
MLC 10.
one guy said I used the MLC 50. So if you guys are going to the Equip Exposition, right now they have early bird pricing, so the tickets are $20.
Cheap.
But if you use promo code Paul, you can get your
50%
GIE registration for 50% off. So it's only $10.
That's a good.
Equip
deal.
Exposition.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Evan.
That's okay.
They changed the name. So
Yeah.
if you guys are enjoying us hanging out, talking shop, we've been doing that on air, off air at lunch. You know, at lunch we we're talking about mowers.
Yeah. X-Mount mowers. Yeah.
Weed eaters.
Weed
We're
eaters,
talking about the
mowers.
good stuff.
But
toys.
that's what Equip's like for 3 days. And
man.
so we hope that you guys will join us in
Yes.
Louisville,
We're gonna be there.
Kentucky.
Yes, we're gonna be there. Anybody that's thinking about it, don't think about it. Just use promo code Paul, save you 50%. Get signed up, go. I promise you, it'll be a breathtaking event for 3 days, or maybe is it 4 days this year? I don't know.
Well, it starts on Wednesday.
yeah, okay.
And
I keep telling them they need
Wednesday,
four.
I think it opens up at noon this year.
Yeah.
And then all day Thursday, and then
Man.
half of Friday. Most people take off on Friday
Yeah.
and drive back or whatnot, fly
Yeah.
back. So
Yeah.
we'd love for you guys to join us in Louisville. We're going to take
Yes.
the show on the road to Eli's shop. Check it out. And then I gotta drive to my next city as the summer road tour rolls on. So thanks for listening. Thanks again to our sponsors. And you can take a look into the show notes for the description to get Jobber, like you mentioned, getjobber.com /Paul to get the registered for the Equip and all that good stuff. Ballard's sponsoring our tour.
Man,
He's
shout out
giving
to Corey
10% off.
and his team. His team is he's got a good team. Anybody that
Yeah.
follows him, go follow him. He's got some good products. I bought some of his products. Good stuff.
Yeah, so all that's in the show notes. Support the sponsors that support the show and save yourself some money. You can take a look in the show notes and take those next steps. So thanks for listening, guys, and let's go check out what you got in the shop.
Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Let's go.
Thank you.